Good morning, everyone. So, again, if you are listening to this video or for our topic for today, I would like you to please turn off your microphone or mute your microphone as well as to turn off your camera. So, now let's continue with our discussion. So, our topic for today is all about music. So it is somewhat a continuation of our topic last meeting, which includes the. So our first topic about music is for Vietnam. So a bit of a background of Vietnam. So the pictures that you are seeing in your screen is what we call the Chen Mu. So this is a pagoda of Celestial Lady, which is in historic temple in the city of Hue in Vietnam. So this is one of their spots, which is historic temple found in their city, which is what we call the Celestial Lady. So aside from that, Vietnam is officially known as the Social Republic of Vietnam. This country is located on the eastern coast of the Indochinese Peninsula. So that is a background for Vietnam. Aside from that, since our topic is all about music, so for Vietnamese music, it refers to the ethnic music that originated from Kin, which is Kin is people of Vietnam. So their music is more on ethnic music. So this term is also used to address the music of any of the numerous ethnic monitories including the Montagnard or indigenous peoples of Central Highlands of Vietnam. So since we are talking about ethnic, so this is more on people that are living in highlands or these are the indigenous peoples as well as Degar, the sons of mountains. Then we have the Thai or Tay. So people speak a language of Central Thai language group and live in southern Vietnam. We have also Cham, a member of an indigenous people of Vietnam and others. Okay, so when we talk about Vietnamese music, it refers to the ethnic music, which is when we talk about ethnic, when we talk about it refers to the races of people that customs, religion, they have their own origin, as well as it is a race or group of people who have a culture that is different from the main culture of a country. So in this instance, we have here the indigenous peoples of Central Highlands, so on and so forth. Next, so this is the map of Vietnam. So Vietnam is officially known as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, or what we call a communist. So when we talk about communist, the economic system, it is an economic system in which the distribution of property and resources is primarily controlled by the government. So when we talk about the Vietnam, so Vietnam is called Socialist Republic, which is the property and resources of their country is controlled by the government. Next, Vietnamese traditional music can be separated into few major categories. So this is divided into predominantly by the way in which were used in the people's cultural lives. So we have mentioned earlier that it is more on ethnic music. So it is categorized into or divided into major categories. So let's move on to the categories of Vietnamese music. So we have three. One of those is the Imperial court music. Okay, so when we talk about Imperial court music, so the most popular of this kind is the nanak. So that was popularly performed during the Tran Dynasty. So Tran Dynasty are the rulers of kingdom that successfully defended Vietnam from the Mongol armies. So when we talk about imperial, no, from the word itself, it's more on the more on rulers, no, rulers of kingdom. So so these dynasties, which was founded and dominated by the powerful Nguyen family. Okay. So again, when we talk about imperial, so this refers to the superior people, no, which was more on music. So imperial court music is more on superior people, no, having or relating to their music. So one of those is the, aside from that, so this is an example or a picture of the performance nanak. So this form of classical music is also performed in honor of gods and scholars of temples. So aside from that, it is also performed no imperial court music aside aside from the music that is relating or related into superiors, no, it is also a classical music performed in honor to their gods and goddesses and through the temples also. So court music, it is more on imperial court music is more on superior or people that have, that are superior, no, from the dynasty. And also the classical music, which is this music refers to honoring their gods and goddesses as well as their temples. Next, we have the folk music. So this is an example of folk music. So this category is extremely diverse. So when we talk about diverse, it is showing a great deal of variety, no? So folk music is their music is more on variety, no? It's not concrete, but rather there is a lot of things going on around it. So because it includes music performed both indoors and outdoors. So when we talk about their Vietnamese folk music, it is not just about the indoor musics that they are performing, no? Like praising their gods and goddesses inside the temple. So they do it also outdoor, in outdoor scenario. So performers of this category are also diverse. So they may be professional musicians down to blind artists in the streets who perform to earn their living. So that's why it is called diverse, because aside from the music itself is performed indoor and outdoor, it is also performed by those professional musicians as well as those people who live in the streets, no, to provide their own living. Next of that, we have the religious and ceremonial music. So this music performed religious rituals or at funerals. Okay, so that is for religious and ceremonial music. So they do this or they perform their music by the means of ritual and during funerals. So we have 8 unique Vietnamese traditional music instruments. So now we're done with their introducing their music, no? So they have 3 major categories. So we have explained it earlier. Now let's move on to their unique musical instruments. So one of those is the danbao. So that is an example of danbao, as you can see in the picture. Next, the danguyat. So that is danguyat. That is the instrument. So it is, as you can see, it is really unique. No, it looks like a guitar, but it has its unique structure. Next, we have the danday or danday. So that is the example of that. And then danhi. Next, the kanbao. And we have also the danda. Aside from that, we have also the dantran. Which was the string is being plucked. Then we have the truna, as you can see in the picture. So truna is more on performance of indigenous people, as you can see in their instruments. Now they uses the bamboo to produce sounds, and more of products that you can see around them. Next, now we're done with the Vietnamese or Vietnam country. Now let's move on into the Singapore. So a bit of a background of Singapore. So they have this what we call famous famous category, or famous, what do we call this? I'm out of words. So they have this famous statue, so which we call the Merlion. So it names combines mer, which means the sea, and the lion itself. So the fish body represents Singapore's origin as a fishing village when it was called Temasek, which means sea town in Javanese. So this is their famous statue, which is what we call the Merlion. So again, mer meaning the sea, and then lion. Aside from that, the Republic of Singapore is an independent republic of Southeast Asia. So it consists of one main island and about 50 small name combines mer meaning the sea and lion. The fish body represents Singapore's origin in a fishing village when it was called Temasek, which means sea town in Javanese. Its name combines mer meaning the sea and lion. So it speaks for itself. The picture itself, it speaks for what it stands for. So, adjacent island of southern tip of the Malay Peninsula. About 3/4 of the people of Singapore adjacent islands of the southern tip of Malay Peninsula. About 3/4 of the people of Singapore known as the Singaporeans or Chinese, but there are significant Malay and Indian monitories. Okay. So it explains there that the people living in Singapore is what we call Singaporean, which was 3/4 of their population. So this is the map of Singapore. So through the years, the music. Now let's move on to the music. Okay. So through the years, the music industry in Singapore grew, having southern influence performances by Singapore Symphony Orchestra as well as ethnic music performances mainly by the Singapore Chinese Orchestra. Other performing groups with Malay and Indian influence are still prevalent until today. So their music is influenced by the Western music. No, they uses the symphony orchestra as their instruments of music. So again, that's all for today. So I hope we've learned a lot today. So thank you for listening. I will leave this to you. So I hope you've learned something about our topic in terms of music. So that's all for today. Goodbye and God bless.